It was supposed to be a fun camping trip, a weekend getaway to unwind from the stresses of daily life. Little did I know, it would turn into a night of terror that would haunt me forever. We arrived at Blackwood Forest on a crisp Friday afternoon. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows through the dense trees. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth. We quickly set up camp near the edge of the forest, eager to explore our surroundings. As the night fell, we gathered around the campfire, the flames casting dancing shadows on the trees around us. The crackling of the fire was the only sound, the silence of the forest eerie and unsettling. That's when I first heard it. A faint whispering, like the wind through the leaves, but with an otherworldly quality to it. I tried to ignore it, chalking it up to my imagination playing tricks on me. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a figure standing among the trees. It was tall and thin, with long, flowing hair that seemed to glow in the moonlight. I blinked, and it was gone. I brushed it off as a trick of the light, but the whispering grew louder, more insistent. It seemed to be coming from all around us, surrounding us. My friends noticed it too, their faces pale in the firelight. We huddled closer together, trying to ignore the feeling of dread that was creeping over us. That's when things took a turn for the worse. We heard footsteps approaching, slow and deliberate. They stopped just outside the circle of light cast by the fire. I summoned the courage to look up, and what I saw made my blood run cold. Standing before us was a figure unlike anything I had ever seen before. It was tall and skeletal, its skin stretched taut over its bones. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, boring into mine with a malevolent gaze. I wanted to scream, to run, but I was frozen in fear. The figure spoke, its voice like 1,000 whispers, sending shivers down my spine. "You have trespassed into my domain," it said, its voice echoing through the forest. "Now you must pay the price." With that, it raised its hand, and the fire went out, plunging us into darkness. The forest was alive with sound, the whispering, the footsteps, the rustling of leaves. We ran, blindly stumbling through the darkness, but it was no use. The figure was always one step ahead of us, its presence looming over us like a dark cloud. Finally, we came to a clearing, and there, in the center, was a crumbling old cabin. Desperate for shelter, we ran inside, hoping to find safety within its walls. But the cabin was not empty. It was filled with the ghosts of those who had come before us, their faces twisted in agony, their eyes filled with despair. We knew then that we were doomed. The figure had trapped us, and there was no escape. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, we huddled together, waiting for the end to come. And come it did. The figure appeared before us one last time, its eyes blazing with a terrible light. With a final, chilling laugh, it reached out and touched us, and we were consumed by darkness. And so, the legend of Blackwood Forest lives on, a cautionary tale for those who dare to venture into its depths. The spirits of the forest are restless, and they will not rest until they have claimed their next victims. Beware the forest, for once you enter, you may never leave.